Hi, this is me and my naughty dog, yeah, who I obviously cannot train, so I cannot train men, but at least I can give you some advice. Uh, so it's been a rising tendency of shaming men who simp for women. Oh, don't be a simp. Or like you do this, you do that, but like bitches stay. Yeah, you don't need them, right? That's interesting. That's pretty interesting. And I think it uncovers a lot of wounds of modern men, those who had very conflicted relationships with their mothers, with women just in general. And even if I always say that I'm against the emasculation of men, this is really funny to see how, according to this man, it is extremely easy to emasculate a man. It takes literally nothing. So, like, that's all on women, and also they shame these men who want to do something for women. When you look at this, mm, they're not always dating coaches, yeah, but there are even dating coaches with similar opinions are of all this alpha men who teach others how to behave by bashing women, even if they say, oh, no, 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 I love women, I would totally take care of women, but they speak about not really women but young girls. Okay, let's admit that, because an adult woman wouldn't really go for this behavior, right? But I don't want to talk about them much. I want to talk about submissive men, because you must be quite confused. Yeah, like what are you supposed to do? You feel wrong about yourself. You feel like you cannot be accepted among other men because they're so tough and masculine, right? What are you? Who are you? Also, you cannot be accepted among women because our women want a traditional and masculine man. So that's not an easy situation, and I'm here to help you somehow a little bit if you're a good boy. So it's really annoying for me to hear all this weird stereotypes about submissive men. However, it is even more annoying to see how you actually prove them right. Lots of you are not submissive to women. Lots of you are submissive to your fetishes, to your addictions. And this is one of the main things I wanted to talk about, that don't be an addict. That's the first piece of advice that I'm going to give you. Don't be an addict. And that's a choice to be an addict. I already shared my view in the video, I think, Findom Addiction. And I constantly get these comments like, oh, no, 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 you don't understand. That's like a brain reaction. That's an addiction. You don't understand addiction. I understand addiction. I just think that the first step to cope with an addiction is to admit that that's a choice. You chose to be an addict. If you don't admit that, you cannot do anything. You keep blaming evil women and your weaknesses. So the first stereotype about submissive men is that you are perverts and that you're weak. Okay, perverts that mostly come from women, yeah, because as soon as you say that you're kinky, most women would assume that there is something wrong with you. And that's often true, because you're often porn addicts. You cannot control yourself. And this is disgusting for most women. Okay, and lots of men would think that you are weak. Prove them wrong. That's what I preach. That's what I love saying. Use your submission as a strength. That's a great, like, inner mechanism. That's like a setting that nature put into you. We can say that, oh, no, 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 or you're a sub not because of your childhood traumas, but probably you are. Whatever we do, it all comes from our childhood. That's not a secret. And we never know how our psyche is going to react. Like if your mother was strict, maybe you didn't have a mother, or maybe she was too soft. We never know. Maybe it wasn't your mother, but there was something. At the same time, I believe that being submissive to a woman in a masculine way, that's a natural way of being a man, of being a masculine man, of being a masculine heterosexual man. Of course, there are lots of different models how to live your life and how to build a relationship. But I'm talking about the majority of men. And I feel like when a man says that's, oh no, I would never submit to a woman, what exactly do you mean? Do you mean your fetishes? That's like it has nothing to do with being a slave. Uh, that's not really submission in my view. That's submission to your fetishes. Of course, they often or they overlap, of course, but I divide submission into two different types: submission to your fetishes and submission to a woman. And in order to make our submissiveness your strength, you need to pick a woman. And this is not easy, because you should pick a woman who knows herself well, whether it's for a relationship or choosing a dom for yourself. That's not an easy decision. Your task is to choose wisely. You have to pay close attention to who you submit to. Your submission is not something like a disposable, that's not a waste, that's not a trash to take out. And lots of women who you see, especially online nowadays, they don't understand what they are doing. And when we talk about, okay, like a little bit different topic, yeah, but all this goddess movement, we can see a lot of women who base it on their just entitlement. Again, and this entitlement is based on nothing. You should pick a woman who knows herself and knows what exactly she's doing. And in this case, it doesn't have to be a like what do you imagine a dom sub kinky relationship. I already have another video, yeah, how to encourage your girlfriend or wife to dominate you. And I said the main idea of the video is that you start with yourself. You start with getting better for her, and it doesn't matter if you act like a chair or a stool, or you do what exactly she wants. And if she wants you to be this strong masculine man, why not? I want you to break the stereotype that a submissive man is a weak man. There is nothing weak about being submissive, but we will see a lot of weak men among so-called submissive men, because lots of fetishes have nothing to do with serving a woman for real. Lots of fetishes are misogynistic in their core, and also they are not about women. And lots of these subs are no different from any other men who are perverts, who are strange, who women don't want to deal with. Also, I would like to recommend you to go to a gym. It doesn't have to be a gym, but any kind of physical activity, any kind of sport. This is essential. Don't be this weird substance that stays home and jerks to femdom porn. Please don't do this. That's so funny when I give all this advice to submissive men. They say, oh yeah, thank you for or like advocating for us, for encouraging us, for believing in us. Dude, I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing this for myself. This is what I this is the type of man I want to be surrounded with. Those who understand their masculinity, their strength, without stepping on women's throats. Realizing that there is no other way to come to this world but through a woman. Realizing that the main archetypes, like life, death, they are female. Realizing the divine nature of women. True submission does not emasculate a man. True submission does not humiliate a man. What's humiliating about it? I don't see the point. I mean, I understand the play, the kink play, yeah, and it can be useful. I like to use it as a tool sometimes, but There's nothing humiliating about true submission. It is beautiful. So, yeah, get strong because you're still a man. That's the thing. Of course, nowadays you will find a lot of, not only nowadays, there are always feminine men and masculine women, and this is fine. But I'm talking again about the majority of women, and the majority of women want a masculine and traditional man. This is life. I didn't make the rules. I prefer the type of dominance which is based on feminine power. Don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that you cut off your masculine traits. I have a lot of masculine traits, but actually getting into femdom and realizing that, oh my God, I mean, that at first I like that. At first I was like, yeah, I'm getting somewhere like where I belong because this is me. But then I came to the understanding that it's all based on getting more masculine and mimicking men. Like, that's not interesting. Feminine power is different. That's why I'm saying that does not emasculate a man or whatever you fear or desire. Some men truly desire to be emasculated, to get rid of this burden. Well, it's not a burden. Still, the majority of women want a man who provides and protects. Yes, how are you supposed to protect a woman if you are physically weak? I don't understand this. To me, the type of submission, like I always make this example, or that's a queen and her knight. Or, okay, maybe that's a king, but he is submissive to his queen and he will always protect her. Female dominance does not mean that she becomes a man in this relationship, even if sometimes she might be more aggressive, like especially verbally. Yeah, when someone says something bad about your man and you just go and like say something. I'm not sure, it depends on the situation also. I really love to encourage my subs to get physically stronger, to get physically active, to get healthier. This is something that you should use as a motivator for your health, for your also your financial growth. Because the next piece of advice is your financial goals. Get them together if you haven't. This is how I like positive findom. When you encourage your submissive to get more from this life, yeah, in order to be able to serve you, but actually financial domination, it might repeat some patterns from real life. It's not only about taking, that's also about encouraging the submissive. It's also about him being able to provide. That's why I'm saying that findom is probably the most feminine type of dominance. Of course, I could tell you something. Let yourself cry. Let yourself weak. But that's the thing. Most men are already weak. If you live with someone, with a partner, with your wife, and she doesn't know about your kinks, that you're submissive, that you want to serve women, if you didn't tell her right from the beginning, is it strength? I would never consider this person strong. Okay, yes, you take care of the family, you provide, but being vulnerable and being honest is a sign of strength. This is not a sign of weakness, not at all. And yeah, I somehow agree that a man needs to have a safe space, yeah, to let him go, to set himself free. We all know that. I'm not interested in repeating the same stuff. I just don't see this man lacking weakness. That's the thing. You are already emotional. You already have the access to your feminine side. You already have the access to your emotions. You already can cry. That's not the point. In the world when everyone tells you, yeah, the masculinity is bad, this is toxic masculinity, being a man is bad, yeah, let's cut it off, especially in Western society. That's very confusing. And now, especially for submissive men, because you get into something like into a weird path. That's why I focus on your strength and your masculinity, because this is this fear you have troubles with. I see a different tendency. It's not that men cannot let it go. It is men who don't know what masculinity is. They see it as a dictatorship or want to get rid of it. I encourage my subs to make friends with their masculinity and to use it together with their submissiveness to women. That's nothing contradictory about it. I see submissiveness to women and masculinity often as synonyms, honestly. Like, I think that true masculinity, I really like this comparison that Pixie, that femininity is a river and masculinity are the brinks of the river. The brinks of the river love the river. They protect the river and let her flow. The river is the source of life. The river is a flow that's creative. And if the brink starts suppressing the river, what's the point of the brinks? If you make the flow smaller. But if the brinks become weak, it is bad for the river. And now imagine if the brinks start mimicking the river. Hey, I'm also the river. And you be the brinks. And hold me. Hold me. Well, that might work if the river wants it. But I doubt that, honestly. I don't think so. That's it for today, and I want to remind you that my videos are not monetized because I am Russian and YouTube does not want to accept my ID. Maybe it will happen in the future, we never know. But for now, my videos are not monetized, and I would really appreciate if you slide into my Wishtender and support me and my channel. Also, another reminder is that if you want just to share your thoughts or to share your gratitude with words, you can do it in your comments. There is no need in sliding into my DM. Like, some of you find my Telegram, find me on Twitter. I mean, that's fine. You can find me and you can follow me. And again, if you just have only words to share with me, please share them in the comments. You can tweet about me, but do not slide into my DM because this is not free. Like, I immediately assume that you're a rude person. I only accept DMs for free from women. I mean, women, real women, not those who say, hello, I'm a woman. I'm here to text you. Have you ever dominated girls? I'm not a girl. Okay. I acknowledge men and their messages only after I receive the initial tribute. I understand that since I'm talking here nonstop about submissive men, blah, 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 and you see me as some kind of like a good figure, a good character in this story, well, I am good. I am brilliant. I know this. Thank you. But I still do findom. I value my time, and I only talk to men who made an effort to get my valuable attention. Okay. Bye-bye.